Good morning. This is Josh Hayes with Hedge Plus, and here's today's market monitor. Headline for today is "The market waits for no one." We need trade deals. We need them soon. It's fine that negotiating has to take place, and you have to obviously understand there's two sides. The U.S. can't be desperate for deals if it wants to get good deals, so there is a little bit of a waiting game there. But unfortunately, markets starve for good news or bullish news, and it's allowed to just kind of drift along for a while. Things like yesterday can happen where one of the only weather concerns in the world starts to come off the table, and that was here in the United States. We've talked about we've had the southern plains being very dry. We had heavy rains out east that caused flooding, all while South America was enjoying very good weather. It was the one thing helping keep prices at a somewhat sustained higher level, and that's starting to reverse. So it's obviously that's great news. The rain situation has basically flipped. We're about to get above normal precipitation in the western Corn Belt where it had been very dry, and that's positive. And we're about to get below normal precipitation in the east where it had been very wet. So that's actually good news. But sometimes good news can lead to bad news, and the outlook clearing up for planting and the progress we've already made, everything's lining up to look like we're going to get off to a really great start early in planting season, and that's caused that the little bit of price drop we saw from that got us to levels where algorithms and speculators took over, and that's what we saw yesterday. They took off and ran from there, and we reached technical levels and support levels that once cleared just open the door to continue to go down, and that is the type of thing that can happen without any kind of bullish news to keep the market propped up. We do anticipate it's coming. We do expect the markets to bounce back. There's no way that we're predicting that the highs for the year are going to come in February as they have thus far. But it's a patience and a waiting game. Thankfully, we have something out there, a known factor that's coming. Could you imagine if there were no potential trade deals in the works, and we were just looking at weather and coming off of a great stretch of weather in South America, and now weather that is improved here in the United States? If we had nothing potential other than maybe cheering for drought to drive the markets higher, which drought's going to hurt many of you, so we don't exactly want that. But thankfully, we do have trade deals coming. It sounds like there's one that's in place already, just waiting the announcement. The rumor is that that's with India, and then we expect other deals to follow. So it would be really fantastic to see a bunch of trade deals over the next 30 days. And they obviously have to include agricultural products in those deals. In the meantime, the Trump administration rushed to approve high ethanol E15. Typically, it seems to be with Trump administration always some kind of offset sought, and that's the offset used for now, I assume, to buy some time for these trade deals, but it will definitely help to increase domestic demand and use for corn. To what degree, I can say already yesterday it helped slow down the slide at the very least, but the numbers will show up later, and hopefully at some point reflect or make its presence felt through lowered ending stocks from heavier use of corn from ethanol. Taking a look at the weather, more rain and floods in the southern plains. Those floods as yet are not too problematic. We're still at the point where rain is a good thing in the southern plains. And like I said before, rain is disappearing from the forecast out east. One item to note about that: while the eastern corn belt was received too much rain and had flooding earlier, the southeast, not a big area for growing our grains, corn and soybeans to some extent, but the southeast has been very dry, and just something to watch because a lot of droughts tend to start in the southeast. So no one's going to go so far and make any strong predictions about drought this year, but weather models continue to build in greater chances for drought. And even if we fall short of drought, periods of dryness, just a couple periods of dryness, you guys know what can do to the market. So maybe we'll see some opportunities that give us better prices, but don't necessarily hold you guys back too much. It's kind of the fine line we'll have to walk later this year. In Argentina, rain in the north is slowing harvest. Not too much of a concern there yet. In Russia, a cold snap has raised concern of the crop quality. They were already projected to have their lowest wheat output since 2021. This late frost is definitely bringing into question what yield and quality of crop they're going to get there. So that's something to watch. And then I noticed yesterday the dry weather in China is definitely starting to be pop up on more and more people's radars and become something that the markets can have to watch more closely. I've been talking about this for a few weeks. It somewhat gets overlooked because China is not an exporter of corn, but they are the second largest producer of corn, and it's all used for domestic use. And obviously, that becomes a real problem if they have a really small corn crop or major loss there, because it's going to force them to import even more. And again, this is at a time that's probably the last thing they want to do. They could go, obviously, to Brazil and Argentina for corn, but again, that always has that domino effect. If high demand appears that where it doesn't usually exist in those places, they're not able to supply all the countries they typically do. Their price goes up, and it sends countries looking our way. So crop loss anywhere in the world is going to show up in the market, regardless of it if it leads to a country coming to the United States directly. Because if they go elsewhere, prices are going to go up there. So that's something definitely building and something to watch closer going forward. As I said yesterday, they are a couple weeks away from a real critical situation. They need rain very, very soon. Taking a look at basis, not that anyone's in a real rush to sell right now, and that's probably why it's improving in 4 places and will probably likely to continue to improve. You notice the largest improvement in basis in the Kansas City region, where you're getting a 10-cent premium for corn. Highest premium right now is in the St. Louis area. Basically a central stretch through Missouri, Illinois, into Indiana was where you can find the best basis right now. Again, not something that many of you are probably looking to act on, given how poor prices are right now. But the basis should only continue to improve, and hopefully we catch a bounce here soon. Looking at overnight prices, corn is only off about 0.5 cent, but this is off 12 cents from this time yesterday. Beans are down another 8.5 cents from yesterday's close, and down 14 cents overall since this time yesterday. And wheat, while up about 1.50 this morning, is down about 6 cents from this time yesterday. Hopefully, we'll see a turnaround here soon. And hopefully these technical and speculative traders have found another new spot for support, and that this drift down stops and we get some trade deals announced soon. That's all for today. Have a great day, everyone. Talk to you again tomorrow.